Hey guys, Glockster42. Well, as you can see, I'm not in my normal abode. I'm out in a small eastern Alberta town doing some work. I was out here last week, not in this hotel, but in an absolute complete roach motel shithole dump that was absolutely nasty. I was out here for 5 days, ended up working 3, had 2 days sitting in that dump. Thankfully I had my Kindle so I could read. There's no cable to speak of. But I've upgraded rooms, and I'll be out here for another week. The beauty of this is I'll probably be only working till about 7 till noon, 7 till 1, so I'll have lots of time to work out and build some models. So I brought my my tools and clippers and stuff and a light from home, and of course I stopped into the hobby shop to snag this. This is the Trumpeter Soviet 2S3 152mm self-propelled Howitzer early version. My buddy Storm built this here maybe a month ago. Check it out on his channel. I wanted some other, there's 3 other kits I wanted before this one, but unfortunately hobby shop didn't have them, so I picked up this one. A little expensive, just around the $50 mark, and some new shears and a book. So a little different this time, guys. Instead of just showing you one that's all done, I'm going to try and do an in-build on this one. It may be a little choppy, we may miss a few steps, but what the hell. So here's a view out of my motel room. What a great view. Wow. That's my work truck right there. Big old Ford 1-ton diesel. Awesome truck. About 22 miles a gallon. More power than you know what to do with. Although I couldn't imagine having a $75,000 boat anchor in my driveway when I'm not working. See those big old storage tanks over there? That's where I'll be working tomorrow. Okay, so in the background we got the Eskimos getting handled by the Argos. Boo, hiss, boo. So anyway, here's this kit. Top deck, turret, gun's mounted, and gun is in 2 pieces, which still burns my ass. It should be a single slide piece. Link-to-link tracks, whole bunch of that. Looks to be pretty basic hull. Looks like the tracks make up the bulk of the kit, which is not unusual in link-to-link track kits. So let me put this away and let's start getting going. Alright, so one thing I forgot to mention, my beer of my drink of choice right now is Boxer Watermelon. Flavored strong beer, 8.5% volume, 710 mils. This is another one of those hell of a deals. Picked this up on sale for $2.49. 1 can of this will pretty much put a big guy like me. I'm 6'3", 240, and this shit will put me on my ass after 1 can. So we'll see how it goes drinking Boxer Watermelon beer and little models. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give you guys an update at the end of each page. I think that makes the most sense. Parts breakdown, pretty typical Trumpeter, Dragon. We start with the lower hull, and then we work our way up. This one is probably going to be in Afghanistan, and it's going to be beat to shite. Okay guys, we got the first page here done, and once again Trumpeter just drives me freaking crazy. This one back panel, one assembly, I had to go into 5 separate sprues. Open 5 different bags, 5 separate sprues. Come on guys, it's one assembly. Put it all in one freaking sprue. So anyway, there's no gotchas, there's no niggly bits, nothing. Some parts fit really nice, some parts a little bit sloppy. The top idler rollers fit super snug, nice and snug. These are a little fiddly to put together, the bump stops. And you know, just your typical Russian Soviet era tow hooks that are just a pain in the ass, especially with the little spring returns there. The level of detail on this is really quite nice. So far, nice kit. Okay guys, we got the first real really on this model. The hub detail is really nice. They've actually done a really nice job on the face, and they've given the little ribs on the front of the wheels, which is really nice. But unfortunately, they've carried this heavy raised line all the way through, which is probably correct. But then you've also got a very, very heavy seam down the middle, which wouldn't be there probably, I'm thinking, within about 3 or 4 months. So unless you're building a vehicle that's quite literally just rolling out of the factory, you've got to remove this. Now there's a couple unfortunate problems on this, is that these road wheels aren't cast evenly. The outer is a little bit higher than the inner, so they're at a slight angle, and it's a real bear to clean up. So there's the factory. Here's one that I've just started to sand. You're going to need a really, really coarse sanding stick, or maybe even a Dremel wheel. And I didn't bring either one of those with me. I did one. It took me about 10 minutes. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of high spot on the outer road wheel. So you need to clean them up like this, guys. This is going to probably be in Afghanistan, weathered to shite. So you really want to make sure that you peel off these heavy panel lines on these wheels. Well, here we are at the end of step 4. We've got all the running gear on, the wheels, torsion bar arms. The torsion bar arms fit nice and snug into the hull. They fit extremely nice and snug into the road wheels. It goes on nice. Everything's level. So far I haven't hit any errors in the instructions. And this is something I always do after getting burned on a couple of older Trumpeter kits with the pins not locking up and getting to a point where I'm putting the treads on and they don't line up. I always make a section of tread and fit them right onto an unglued drive sprocket, and then glue them up so everything's nice and square. You have got a ton of these. I'm right now getting ready to put on some tracks. This will probably take the rest of my time here, is getting these tracks on. They fit nice. They're nicely detailed. There's no ejection pin or pin marks in the face or on the inside of them. The tracks are really nice. They fit together snug, and they are all workable without any glue, which is nice. So update whatever. I forgot one thing. Tonight's drink of choice is a Polish beer. 5.5%, 500 mils, 350 Canadian. It's pretty nice. It's a little hoppier than I'm not used to. I'm not even going to take a run at this. Siki, I have no idea. My Polish, not so good, and I'm not even going to try and mispronounce that one. So anyway, guys, this self-propelled gun is coming along nice, and the beer is cooled. Later. Well, video update here on this 2S3 Soviet Howitzer. Should be home tomorrow, thankfully. Barrel, not such a great fit. Putty in the barrel, guys. Putty in the recoil springs. This is not such a great, not much friction on there. It's weird. Everything on the hull fits nice and tight, and the locating holes are snug, and everything goes together. And then you get to the turret, and the locating holes are either too big or too small and too sloppy. This machine gun cradle or machine gun is really poorly done. Very, very poorly done. Poorly engineered, poorly laid out. But it gives you the feeling of that 12.7 on there, and it's coming right along. I should have this done, like I say, hopefully at home on the weekend. Get this thing done. I've just got, of course, all the photo etch I haven't put on yet on the hull and of course the tracks and the fenders. But all in all, this is another one of those kits. If you find it on sale at a reasonable price, pick it up. I paid fairly much full retail just because I was on my way out of town and wanted to take a model with me to work, and I forgot my ones at home. So like I said, if you can find this puppy on sale, pick it up, or something reasonable price, go ahead. But I don't know, 55 bucks probably. I wouldn't recommend it at that price. Alright guys, next time you see this, I'm hopefully going to be ready for paint. Work's progressing on this Soviet 152. The hull is all done. Road wheels are nice. The fit of the hull is weird. Some of the pieces just are super snug. The locating pins are nice and tight. Everything fits just fantastic on one side, and then you go over here, you got these clamps that are right into the hull, and they've got these great, huge, massive canyons for locating holes that are twice as big as they need to be, and it's a bit of a pain. I hate photo etch. Oh God, I hate photo etch. And even this little bit of photo etch is just enough to drive me batty. So I don't do a lot of photo etch. And I didn't do it pristine. This one's going to be a battered veteran in Chechnya. So probably going to put a little dio on it and everything, but I didn't worry about having the photo etch all super tight and snug and all fancy schmancy, because this one is going to be beat to snot. Alright guys, we're coming along on the turret, and next update is the turret. Alright, she's complete. This S23 Soviet 152 is all done. The build portion is done. It's, like I said in my the last segment, it's some parts fit together fantastic, some parts not so good. Alright, so a couple of different techniques you can use on painting. You can pre-shade this, or you can just go throw the base color on and have at her. You can prime it. Some guys like to prime it, then paint it. Then for me, that's just, there's too many layers of paint. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go from here a clean, ready to go kit. We're going to be using Vallejo surface primer. And what I'm going to do here is the bottom hull is going to be completely black, and everything coming up, we're just going to pre-shade panel lines and whatnot. I like to paint the running gear all black. I leave the fenders off because I'll paint the running gear all black, paint the undersides of the fenders black, let that cure, shoot some green on it, throw some mud on it, and then put the tracks on, then put the fenders on, and then work my way bottom top in finishing. So we're going to basically break this out into a separate video, I think, guys. And we'll show you how I paint. I know a lot of guys I've seen on the web, for whatever reason, throw a thick, heavy primer on, then a thick, heavy pre-shading on, and then their color, then their weathering, and you've got as many as 5 or 6 heavy coats of paint on. A little unnecessary. You want to keep these fine details popping out. So we're going to get the surface primer going. Like I said, we're going to use the Vallejo surface primer, and I'm also going to thin this down a bit with the Vallejo airbrush thinner. Probably about 70-30 paint to thinner. It just flows a little bit better, and you have less chance of getting a rough, gritty surface on your model if you thin it out a bit.